The National Hotel. It is now a historical landmark and it's the first time I'm staying here. So let's go inside. So this place that we're staying at is called the National Hotel, also just known as the National. And so I'm staying here with my mom and sister. It's in Nevada City, and what you're seeing right now, Nevada City, and it's in Nevada City, California. And what you're seeing right now is me walking through the hall on the floor that we're at. And last night when we were trying to find our room, we ended up taking this route. We kind of knew where to find it, but we wanted to kind of venture out and see what it looks like. And I didn't realize there was a mirror there. I turned and looked before I turned the camera around, and I thought someone was there. But the wallpaper is amazing. It's like something straight out of The Shining, I feel like. And all these hallways, should have actually showed all these pictures, have pictures like this. And I'm whispering because I don't know if anyone's in any of these rooms that are near me. But it's so awesome. I already told my sister that if she ever wants to come back here and stay, I'm down to come back here with her. I haven't even showed you the room yet, but the rooms are as equally amazing as the hall. And the lobby itself, there's a bar down here. And look, there's just a room tucked away here. I don't know if anyone's staying in there, so I'm gonna walk away. But it's so cool. So this is our last day here. We're about to check out. And I just wanted to show you guys around. It's amazing. So this is the hall where our actual room is. This is kind of where I started. So that's us. We're staying in room 318. I don't know if you could see with the reflection. But last night my sister and I took a walk out on the town, and before we did, we sat here for a while. And it's so comfortable. Oh my god, this is amazing. And all around, oh, I think someone's in this room here. So I'm gonna whisper. But all around and in the rooms, there's things like this. There's no TVs in any of them. Everything has such detail on it. Like this here. I don't know if you could see with the reflection, the glare on the window. But there's these in the room as well. We're not really using them though. There's an actual like air conditioner up on the wall. Oh, I think someone's coming. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. I think they were just walking around. Let's go. So this is where down here is where they were having like coffee and stuff. Let's go down this way. I don't think I ever went down this way. I'm trying to avoid people right now. I hope this audio is picking up because I'm whispering through the whole thing. But look. So, there's something weird. So this, let me figure out. No, I don't think. Is this our window? It might be our window. Hang on. Let me go back around. Here's another just random picture on the wall. Here's some more. These I kind of like actually. There's some in the room. One of them I really want, and I'm trying to look for like a replica of it. But I'm pretty sure these are our windows. So last night, oh wait, is there a ladder here? I might be able to tell by a ladder. Maybe not. So last night we noticed something as we were closing our blinds. We're like, oh, we're looking into rooms. So this is kind of like your view from a bedroom is other people's rooms because they're right next to each other. So that's the only awkward thing. Fun, but awkward. I hear people. I think there's more people on this side than on our side. Or maybe they're the maids. I don't see anyone. Oh, no. Okay, there's an open door. Let's avoid that area. And there's just, roof access. We could have gone on the roof. I didn't even know that. I don't think any of us knew that. But this place, to give you a little bit of history, so this is kind of like an old mining town. We're actually going to be going to the mines later, so I'm going to try and film some of that too. But this was in, let's sit back over here. This was in the 1850 something. And look, I love that. So this was in like the 1850 something. And this hotel was more for like the high-end people. People that had money stayed here. And like that time period anyway, there were a lot of women staying here. Women of the night staying here. And there are some ghost stories about this place. I haven't really dove into that quite yet, but I will. So I'll probably look into a little bit of the history and add it to this video maybe after we leave. So you're obviously seeing it now, and then I'll probably go home and tell the rest of it there once I really dive into it. But it's so cool. And I'm just showing me right now because I'm basically going backwards from what I just showed you. But, so I'm going through the same path. But this hallway in particular is just so cool. And that's me. All the cracking that you hear is me. And in another, I think I'm actually starting to get used to this floor now. But on another floor, there's like bathrooms that are open that you can use. And just everything is accessible, which is really cool. So it's like you really step into some other time because they keep things the way they are. Like it really feels like you're staying in the 1800s, which is kind of amazing. And so I'm kind of staying out of the room now because my mom and sister are getting ready to go. I think my sister's in the shower. My mom's kind of getting her stuff together. But actually, I'll show you the room. I was trying to stay out of their way, but they know I'm out here recording now, so I want to show you the room before we leave. I got a key, and I feel like a lot of people are walking around now, so to stay out of their area and go in the room. Hang on. So this is the room right when you open the door. And I decided to take pictures because they were still getting ready. I didn't want to get in their way. But that's why I kind of kept the camera on the room as I was opening the door so you could kind of see that this is the first thing. And I immediately loved it without turning my head looking at everything else. And this is on the right side. I don't think
any of us opened that door to see what was behind it. But it's such a cool little area. You could see there's still stuff there. And this is a little bar area. There's that old fashioned radio on the left side. That's what was near that chair out there. We got free waters and we didn't touch anything else because I think we had to pay for it. But that's on the left side. And then this is in the corner. So this is like a little table. You could see a couple chairs. Maybe you can't see the two chairs, but there are a couple. My sister was sitting on one of them the night before. We were just kind of hanging out, talking, while my mom and I were sitting on the bed. And that picture in the background, I loved it. And it's of this woman in white in water. It's really cool. I want it. And this tub is amazing. The bathroom is huge. There's still a lot of stuff in there, so I didn't get the whole bathroom, but I love the feet on the tub. That was so cool. And then this is like the couch I was sitting on upstairs. This is actually down in the lobby, so it's not the same one. But apparently they're everywhere. They're just so comfortable, very Victorian like. And this is a restaurant. They named it after a dancer, Lola. I'll talk about her in a little bit. They had really good food. We ate there the night before. And I wish I got pictures of the bar when we were in it the night before. This is the door to it. It's so cool. I'll try and find pictures online of it actually when I'm talking about the place. And this is the outside. It's just even the balconies look old, which is really cool. I love it. And then this is the side where it says the sign of the hotel. Obviously, you see it there. And I love this picture. I actually kind of nerded out about it and now the picture on my phone. So yeah, I really loved this place.
So now for the history of the National Exchange Hotel. That is its actual full name. But like I said when I was walking through it, it is also known as a National Hotel, so you can call it whatever you want. But that is its actual name. Now let's get into Nevada City. So some of it is confusing because people are like, well, it's not in Nevada. So California was kind of discovered before Nevada actually was. And in the past, before Nevada became a state, it was known as Nevada, California. But then when Nevada took that name, they had to change it to Nevada City. So that's kind of the history behind that, at least what I found. And so in 1851, Nevada City became the most important and popular mining town of California. And so that meant that a lot of people were coming into that area. They built houses to stay there, and it also meant that they needed a hotel. So they started construction on this one. And it took a couple years. They finally opened their doors on August 26th, 1856. And it's been open ever since. But it has had its challenges. I'll get to that in a minute. They did have the first telegraph room in that hotel, which is basically like a post office. And there was stagecoaches that used to stop by near the bar room. It was, I think, the only hotel at that time, but it became a very important one. A lot of different people stayed there. One of them, Mark Twain, I wish I was able to find out what room he stayed in. That I wasn't able to really dig into. I don't know if it's known, I don't know if it's written anywhere, but I think it's cool that he stayed there. And also Lola. So I did mention her when I showed the restaurant. So she was a dancer that was known for the spider dance. Now, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's still around. I don't really know anything about dancing, but I think the name is cool. And so she was a heavy influence back then.
I mean, with the women of the night, this spider dance was quoted as an exotic dance, so she was probably really popular with the men. But the reason why they named the restaurant Lola is because she was kind of a free spirit at that time. And so that kind of goes with the restaurant. There was something that I read where it was like they like inventing things, they like kind of doing their own thing. So they thought it was fitting to name it after her. Which knowing that I think is kind of cool. But throughout the years, with its challenges, there's been different renovations to kind of match the times. And they would take rooms out, they would board rooms up, they would build new ones, they would do all these different things to try and stay relevant. In 1973, that's when it became a historical landmark. But it still went through its challenges. So this one actually surprised me. So, not very long ago, it was on the verge of being condemned. And so I imagine the renovations kind of stopped. It was probably close to falling apart at that time, but they got through it. Everyone surrounding the hotel wanted it to be saved. Of course, everyone that worked there wanted it to be saved. So that's when it got a full renovation, a full redone. So they got special architectures, they got everyone they could imagine just pulling together. And what they did is they made it what it is today. They went back to the times that it was around. They pulled any kind of like wallpaper that you saw in the room and the floor, which I did find out later. Different floors have different wallpaper. I kind of wish I went to different floors, but maybe next time. Maybe when I go back. But they pulled at everything to kind of keep that charm, to keep that history alive, which I think they did an amazing job. And they've been going ever since. So I actually have to thank everyone in that area who tried to save it, because now it's one of my favorite places, and I think probably one of my sister's favorite places too. She went there already and she wanted to go back, and so that's when she brought us. And you might be wondering if it's haunted. Yes. Yes, it is. That's actually how my sister got us to go there. Not like we needed much convincing, because she said it was an old hotel, which I'm always sold on any old hotel. You tell me it's old, I want to go, whether it's haunted or not, but if it's old, it most likely is. Well, this one is. Did I know the stories before I went? No. Do I wish I knew the story before I went? Yeah. Yeah. So when I found out about both of them, I was just like, I wish I looked. I wish I paid attention. I wish I tried to find them. But that's even more reason to go back. So let me tell you what I found out. So there is a little girl that haunts the second floor. We were on the third floor, so right below us. She's known as Little Elizabeth, and they don't really know her age. They just call her a young spirit. So I imagine probably like 7 or 8, especially, or maybe a little bit younger, how they describe how she's found. So she's found in a red dress. She'll be either running around, riding a tricycle, playing with a red ball. All these things with little Elizabeth can be found on the second floor. If I go back, I want to hang out on the second floor. I actually did kind of show that. Of course, now I wish I took you guys downstairs and hung out there for a while, now knowing that that was a floor. But you know that staircase that I showed, saying that that's where they had coffee in the morning? Well, that's the second floor.
So she is there. And also in the bar. So the bar in itself is amazing. So these are the pictures that I found online. I was able to find some. I'm so glad I was able to because it's so cool. But there's also ghost sightings in the bar as well. Apparitions from the 1800s, the Victorian era. People have been seeing people wearing the Victorian era clothing, just walking around the bar like they're hanging out with everyone else. I mean, it makes sense because it looks the way it looks. But man, I wish I knew. I would have paid a little bit more attention to that. But that's the extra stuff that I found out about National Exchange Hotel. And I don't know if you can tell, but this shirt I got there. That's how much I loved it. I saw that they had shirts and I'm like, oh, I want one. So this is in the corner. The back is of their logo. I don't know. Here, let me see if I can show you the back. Get my hair out of the way. I don't know if you can see, but basically, it's this. I also have something from them too. This is on the back. And so, yeah, I will definitely go back one day, whether it's with my sister, whether it's with Brandy, because I told her about the hotel and she seemed interested in it too, but it's just a matter of getting in that area eventually. But I will be back and I will try and find little Elizabeth, and I'm gonna hang out in that bar longer and see if I see anyone. That looks like they stepped out of the Victorian era. And the mines.
So this is what we actually did after we left the hotel. This is like a mine area in Grass Valley. And Grass Valley isn't very far from Nevada City, so it was something my sister wanted to take us to do before we left the area. And so I was just recording things as we were walking through the garden. We were actually waiting for a tour of one of the cottages, and I really highly doubted I was able to record that. So I just kind of took my camera around, walked around the garden, and I decided to do a voiceover because we were talking as we were going and, kind of bits of conversation that would make no sense about this video. So I decided to do it this way instead. But it was really pretty out there. As you can see, just everything is taken care of, and there's a little koi pond out there with all the little fishes, and it was just so pretty. And I had to kind of take you guys with me with this too. And so after the tour, we got to see the mines. And so I did take pictures of that. That is coming up in a minute. But we're just kind of hanging out in the garden area. And this guy didn't seem to want to be on camera because once he saw me kind of poke around the side, he stopped talking. But he was explaining the garden area. And so we were getting closer to the cottage for our tour. And the mine. So this was so cool. We actually had to go down a couple different staircases to get down here. Now it looks like I'm in it. I'm not. There was a little kind of fence blocking it off. So I just kind of leaned forward and took a picture to make it look like I was standing in it. But this is how it would be if you actually were. And it was just so crazy to see it in person. I'm really glad she ended up taking us here because this was really cool to see. Now I'm a big fan of history. It's weird because in school I wasn't, but now I can't get enough. And so this is actually how they had to go down into the mines. And it looks so much like a roller coaster to me. It makes me wonder if that's kind of how they started. I mean, if you go fast, it's a roller coaster. Of course, they didn't go fast at that time. It was just an easier way for them to get down there. But still, it makes me wonder, when were they really invented? Probably around the same time, I would think. I'll have to do some digging in that. but it reminded all of us of a roller coaster. So I had to take a picture of that too.
So I hope you guys enjoyed learning and seeing National Hotel. I love it. I know I said it over and over in the video, but I love it. And since we were at the mines, I wanted to cram it in this video too, so I hope that you enjoyed that as well. That was kind of like little bonus footage for this video, and it's kind of in the same area, so it works. So I hope you guys enjoyed everything in this. I'll see you next time. Bye.